Well, good day. It is Barn Burner, and it is a Friday. Brent.
Friday!
I would say let's crack an Origin beer. Let's get one of those Sutter 6-shooters going. I would say let's dive into a Barn Burner Blonde, but it was only just a few hours ago in this studio that the Wolverine pounced on me following Afterburner, and we had a few Origins. So
wow, that crazy.
Do as you see fit here in this holiday festive month on a Friday. Hawaiian shirt day, if, you'd like to wear
wild animal. You got to keep them chained up.
Speaking of wild animals, I am going to need you to back off your microphone just a little and give me your best wolf howl. Please, Rhett.
Ow!
Oh! It was a wolf win at the Dome last night, Rhett.
What? They were down 2-0. They were horse shit. They couldn't have won.
Okay, now walk me through your timeline. You were saying you were going to do the sushi order last night on DoorDash. You were settling in for the game. It is 2 hours later there. At some point, there is a little, okay, you either you fight through or you quit.
I got home at 9. Food was delivered. Had a bite. Game started it started at 9 my time. I got home just after that. So I played a little catch up on the game. And then I decided that probably I'd seen enough after 40 minutes and it was time to hit the sheets.
You know who else had seen enough? I think it was probably Ryan Huska and Conroy. And
I can honestly say I woke up this morning. I'm like, what? No. Come back. No. They didn't have any. They had nothing.
Through 40 minutes, if you had to do a recap of the game, and if you had to do one on the third, like it would be hard to have two more different shows and different opinions on the game than the one you had after 40 and the one you had through 60 minutes, because it just felt like, oh yeah, Carolina's still Carolina. They're going to outshoot the crap of you. They're not going to allow you to get many chances, and they're not going to make their goalie have to work too hard, even if there is a squeaky one or two. They're fine.
And the Flames power play is
still awful. Yeah, and that didn't change in the third. That would be the same theme of the show, Red. The only thing that would overlap would be us destroying the Flames power play. Poor Mark Savard. I don't know if it's your fault or not, man.
It's not.
I don't know if that mustache is working for you or not. I don't know anything about what's your fault and what isn't. The things that people are going to look at and tie to your job don't look good right now. I'm sorry, bud. And he might be great. I don't know.
Hey, don't critique a win.
Don't critique a win, right? Especially one that you've gone over with a fine-tooth comb here. The third period was a different one for sure. They had 5 third-period comeback victories this season prior to last night. It was their 6th third-period comeback victory. We saw Pospisil block a shot. Looked like it caught him in the ankle or foot. 2 very short shifts after that. That was it. We had Rasmus Anderson on the backhand. Uyghur was on the ice, I think, for most of these goals that got them rallied back. Zary, a big goal, playing right through to the whistle, going hard to the net. There's a nice play from Kadri and Ruzicka to get that chance. Anderson as well before that. And then Blake Coleman, who, interestingly, Cammie said after 40 minutes, I really like Coleman tonight. He's around it. I was like, oh, okay. Sure enough, he gets the winner, shorthanded. Sharon Govich pokes it out for him, and he rips one in.
And then she's probably all braggy,
Chetko.
saying, see, I told you so.
I was bragging her up. She doesn't need to be braggy. She's confident. She's successful. I'm happy to prop her up for those kind of things, because you get some bleating idiots in the comments being like, woman, babes. It's like, no, Cammie knows what she's doing. It doesn't matter what gender she is. Settle down, people. But most people absolutely love what she's been doing Afterburner, and she nailed it on Coleman. That's a big game, big performance, and a big win, courtesy one of the guys that came here as a free agent to win. Right?
No, did that Carolina look like a team that had played 3 games in 4 nights and traveled?
They did in the third. I wasn't so sure in the first 40 minutes.
The first quarter, they seemed just fine. And then the third, Brent Burns. Ooh.
A, congrats on still being in the league. B, not sure how much longer you're
How often are guys going by you easily one-on-one? Because I saw McDavid.
We showed you the Connor. Yeah, 2 nights ago.
And I thought, well, it's Connor McDavid. But
Yeah.
then was it Kadri last night? That zip. I forget who it was.
He's always been renowned for his play at the other end. So,
but I don't think he was that horse shit in his own. Like that.
No, I'm
that's
sure that's
turnstile
correct.
101. Like just
he's not getting walked every game. It's just
he's
in Alberta.
opening up the gate. Like, here you go.
Yes.
Here you go.
The Connor one was especially bad because he misses with the poke check and then misses with the body contact. And it's just, he got beat twice on that play, I swear, at least.
Whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Let's get right into our first segment of the day. It is I Dig It for Finning. We got to tell you, this segment brought to you by our friends at Finning Cat. Improve productivity and efficiency with equipment you can rely on. Go to finning.com and check out their extensive inventory of new, used, and rental equipment to find the right solution to meet your unique needs. Need a part? It's never been easier with Finning Cat's online service. Invest in the future of your business. Check out the latest at finning.com. Once is a one-off. It's just an event that happens. Twice is like, oh, do we have a trend here? It's 2 games in a row. And I don't know how it happened for the first one. The Wolf Pup is back, Rhett. Look at this. So now, Jack, you can jump in here. This is 2 games in a row. I don't know how Wolf Pup was at the first game because it was a Vladar start against Minnesota. Some kid knew he was getting the hook or is just the biggest Wolf fan of all time. Just
some spoiled bratty rich kid goes to every game.
Yeah, we were talking about Kipper Kid last night. Like, what kind of a bill did mom and dad invest in there? You're like, it really is his thing. And he's getting on TV a lot, but he does have to be the first couple rows behind the glass. And God damn it, they won another.
It's going to get real expensive.
They beat Detroit another round. God damn it, we're taking another mortgage. Wolf Pup's back, 2 games in a row. You love to see it. And I don't know, you when we talked about it this summer, you're like, man, like Wolf is going to have a special connection with the fans. There's a lot of things about it. A, you're an underdog. B, everyone said you're too small. C, he's just a top flight prospect. He's done everything you can do at every level outside the NHL. And you were like, there'd be howling after saves. There's something about this guy. Like, how could you not cheer for Dustin Wolf if you're a Flames fan? Like, if you're going to have to pick a jersey to wear or buy for the next 5 years, it's got to be a Wolf or a Zary off this team right now. Anything else is like, whatever.
And Zary, as good as he's been, it's too easy to have the connection with the goalie with that name and all they can do with it. Like, sorry, Connor, you're second.
And you know what? You can have a home and away red, or maybe it's a Blasty and a red. Like, that's whatever you need to do. That's fine. We're not saying don't buy a Zary jersey, but Wolf was good. A lot of people after 20 minutes or halfway through the first were worried about tips on Wolf. He's too small. The tips are going to get him.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. What kind of scientific idiotic tips?
I went on a rant last night. Yeah. People were like, he's small. That's why the tips are beating him. And I'm like, no. He's the same size as he is on every other shot attempt. It's isn't some hack. You don't beat the Predators by tipping it past Saros. Like, I went on a big heated rant about it last night, but I think when you see it happen twice in 9 minutes and they're down 2-0, people they can't step back and look at the big picture. They're frustrated. He's on pace to allow 6. The tips are getting him.
I think they're right. They for sure have something. There's something there. Like when
I looked at it.
When teams come to town and they do the cheat sheet on the goaltenders, they're like tips. You got to tip it. They don't do, and you know what they don't do against big goaltenders? They say don't tip the puck.
That's right. You don't want to tip it on the big.
Don't tip it.
Let them see
He's
it.
Big goalie. You don't want to tip. Don't tip it. Don't change the direction.
You're in front of there. No, big goalie. No, small goalie. Tip.
Small goalie. Tip. Big goalie.
I don't think people realize how hard it is to A, get a piece of a puck that's traveling like 80 to 100 miles an hour, and then B, to even like direct it in a certain area, never mind aim a tip. Like, you're probably just trying to change a direction of it, and maybe you can get to the side or up or down. That's about it. Like, you're just trying to get a piece of it to change the angle. There was 2 perfect tips last night.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Tip away.
He's pretty much stopped everything.
Tip your servers.
He's seen. Are you back into tipping now?
Oh, big time. A massive tip.
That didn't go well for you, hey? The feedback on that one?
It must have been a bad day.
It was a bad day. You were having a boomer day. I don't know if people remember this on the old show. Rhett must have had bad service, bad shoulder, grumpy morning. And it must have been 8 years ago. Said, I'm done with tipping. I'm tipping 0 from now on. I don't know that your phone stopped ringing for a while after that. I don't think that would have helped the service.
I still reserve the right to tip 0 if I get shitty service.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, it is a tip. It's not built into the bill. Excuse me. So for Finning and Finning Cat, the rental store, it is Wolf Pup back again. I dig it. It might not be a lot of wins for this team in the next year or two. It might. Maybe they extend Hanifin, they keep Markstrom, and it's a veteran group. Maybe they go the other way and get younger, and maybe there's some growing pains along the way. But to have players that you can cheer for that give you a chance to win, like the goalie's the one. If you can pick one guy to rally around that can make a big impact, nothing more exciting than a theoretical star goaltender.
With a great
this
name.
kid be one. Would be
with
great.
a great name.
Say that again.
With a great last name.
Oh yeah, hell of a last name. They're already howling after saves, Rat. Like it's guy's fan favorite already.
There's a lot of well, what do they call it? Not memorabilia, but swag that you
Merch?
can make. Merch. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I think our boys got AI to build some stuff. We've got some sexy graphic T-shirt designs. I feel like we got to push at least one of those. Let's go. Wouldn't be this wolf, just any random wolf, and maybe a goalie. Couldn't be a Flames. Just total coincidence. Anyway, thinking about doing some wolf T-shirts. Nothing to do with the Flames. Different topic.
Oh, you're a pack animal.
That's right. Yeah. Like staying out late, howling at the moon, traveling packs, social, very loud. That's me. Let us talk a little bit about tomorrow. It's a 2:00 start. It's not a back-to-back. It's 2 games in a day and a half. It's 36 hours, not 48. I don't think it matters a bunch. If you're Dustin Wolf, you've been playing in the A, you've been doing back-to-backs, and then a Friday night, Saturday, Sunday afternoon. Like, this is very, very commonplace. I do wonder what Ryan Huska would like to do in net. I do wonder what Jordan Sigalet and Jason LaBarbera would want to do in net. I do wonder what Craig Conroy would want to see in net. There is a road trip coming up. You're immediately out to Colorado and Vegas with a back-to-back. You're going to see both goalies there. I don't know when Markstrom's back. It's a long-winded way of saying, I wonder what happens in net on Saturday afternoon, tomorrow.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
Like,
and you said it, like it's an opportunity for both these guys. Feel like Wolf made the most of it.
I think so. Yeah. Gets the win, shuts the door for the final 40. You can argue to play him again, but I can see the argument for Vladar as well. Like I have no inclination as to what they're going to do. Zero. And I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't want to pretend like this is a heated controversy that we need to shake our fist and yell at people, but I'm happy with either. They're both going to keep playing, I think, pretty back and forth until Markstrom's back. We don't know when that is. There was a comment on Afterburner I like, though. Jack, can you pull up the gauntlet run just by chance? I know we'll get to it later in the Pinder Report, but just to sort of show where they're at and where they're going. They have the back-to-back where it's Colorado on one night and the next they're in Vegas. Now, Dan Vladar's best game of the year was the first Monday of this homestand of 6 in a row where they're through 5 of them. It's right near the top, that 2-1 win. I would love to see Vladar again in Vegas if you can line it up. And I know certain coaching staffs and goalie people would say there's certain things about certain teams, certain rinks, guys play well in certain spots. That's about the only thing I really care about at this point is if you get a chance to put Vladar in against Vegas, yeah, he was good against them. And I don't even care that much about it, to be fair.
Wow. Would Jersey be interested in a goalie?
Jersey absolutely should be interested in a goalie.
Oh, showcase.
Yeah. Do you want to showcase Markstrom? Get healthy. Let's go. I don't know. We've talked about it a bunch. I'm very open to the idea of if you are going to move Lindholm and Tanev and maybe even Hanifin as well, is this where Jacob Markstrom wants to be?
I don't think it is. If they're doing all that, then I think Markstrom's happy to go.
Yeah, and if they re-sign Hanifin and they bring back some players, not picks for some of the other guys, and you graduate Coronado back up and Pelche's back and you're young and competitive, I think he'll want to stay. But if they're going to be a clear non-playoff team and, odds on to not make it the next year or two as they sort of turn this thing over to the young players, that's the remainder of his contract. He's got this year and 2 more. It would be like, hey, guys, I have a no move. If you're thinking about moving a goalie, how old am I? I'm already over 30. I want to go chase Cup. I would think that's where he's at. I mean, he seems incredibly competitive, intense individual that he came here to win.
It does feel that way, but we also forget that it's easy for us. You get family and friends and established in the community, and you don't want to but you never know. I would imagine he'd be open to it, but that's with the no move. That's up to him.
It really is. That's fair.
it's easy for us to think that you should want to, but there's a lot that goes into it as well.
We're going to help you out at Christmas here because we're a bunch of big idiots. Grown men. We're just big, dumb animals, especially when it comes to like anniversaries, birthdays. Christmas is one you can't screw up. So our buddy Justin at Villanova has got it like totally squared away. This is a 2-foot putt ret. We can't screw this up. He's helped us last Christmas. He helped a bunch of our barn burner guys with a promo code last Christmas, even bigger and better this year. And it's only for barn burner fans. This is not available to anyone else in the public. If you watch or listen to the show, this is for you. Get in there. Here's what he's doing. Vinanova.com/barnburner. There's the website. I got that right, Jack? Vinanova.com/barnburner. It is the 3 stars, 3 different pieces of jewelry there. He's even thinking we could call one the Boomer Star, the Red Star, the Pinder Star, whatever it is. Those are there until they sell them, and then they'll slide another star in. These are really, really, really great deals on Villanova and their lab-made diamonds, which is just huge savings for you, the consumer, and above and beyond the normal pricing in the store. This is just for our boys. That'll help you at Christmas. And if you're a special person that you're buying diamonds for, or maybe just treating yourself, you're like, this is a deal. Screw Christmas. That's for me. If you're more particular than that, there is a promo code BARNBURNER for the online store, or you can whisper it in the store. But don't be sharing it with these non-listeners and viewers. Don't be sharing. Don't be wearing a T-shirt that says it or have a huge sign. This is top secret. But Villanova's got you sorted out for Christmas. A, your special person's going to love diamonds. And B, if you're going to do it, get them at a great price from a great local business. It does get much better than that. So Villanova.com/barnburner. And Barnburner is your promo code for, I believe, 15% off online. You kidding me? Woo! Or in store. If you just mention you heard it on the show. That's us helping you, and that's our boy Justin helping all of us in Christmas. You have, it's the 17 days, right? Sounds like a lot.
It really doesn't, because it didn't seem that long ago when it was 3 months away. And lots of time.
We got to check in with one of our NHL insiders, Darren Dreger. I'm sure I get the sense he would have a very he's organized, right? Unlike us, he's got Christmas lights are probably up. I think he's probably
dialed in.
Christmas memorabilia dialed in for sure. And I think we also got to see what's going on with the gossip around the league. It sounds like there's some major developments going on in Arizona right now with a plot of land just north of Scottsdale. I did vet it with Kami. Texting Kami says, this is great. It's a perfect location for a rink if compared to some of the other ones pitched. Our Insider Hotline is brought to you by TELUS. At TELUS, they're using their world-leading technology to drive meaningful change, from transforming healthcare and making our food supply more sustainable to reducing our environmental footprint and connecting Canadians in need. In 2022 alone, TELUS and their team members and retirees, they volunteered 1.4 million hours. What? 125 million to our local communities. It is the most giving company in the world. Let's make the future friendly. Learn more at TELUS.com/givesback. Dregs, how are we today? Are you in the holiday spirit, sir?
No, not really. A lot of traveling this week. Well, I don't travel that much anymore, but a lot this week. We were in Seattle for the Board of Governors meetings, and then we had the Battle of Ontario last night on TSN with Toronto in Ottawa. So I made my way from Seattle to Ottawa, which, shocking to no one, isn't that easy to do. Did the game, but I'll get into the Christmas spirit. So this is a pro tip here for you. All right. Okay. I never take my Christmas lights down. But the difference is they're clear, right? So, they don't look ridiculous in the summer, and they're almost tucked right under the shingles.
Yes.
I had them professionally installed, and I never take them off. So then all you do is, about mid-December, around now, maybe you buy one of those fancy kind of, I don't know, it's got spruce boughs and red things in it, and you park one of those on your front step, and you're pretty much locked and loaded. So that's the extent of my preparation.
This is what I was talking about, Red. He's organized. He's got things dialed in way better than we do.
He's not going to stress over it. He's got it dialed in.
He's like, dude, I've got this sorted, and they're hidden under the eaves trough, so you're not staring at them in the summer. They're not weird colors, and like, boom, wow, look at the Dreger house already. That's perfect holiday season.
Also, I did my shopping I had about 2 hours of downtime in Ottawa, stayed at the Westin in Ottawa downtown, right? And it's attached to the Rideau Mall
Okay.
So, I'd put a good hour shift in there, got my Christmas shopping done. My wife's at work, the family's away. So I just got in, literally just got in 30 minutes ago and stashed all the goodies all over the house, hidden and tucked away. So I'm set.
Well done.
Locked and loaded.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. So back to Seattle.
Yeah.
It sort of felt like every time the league gets together, we have to address the Arizona issues. And the vibes going in versus coming out, is the league feeling much better about the, situation in Arizona as they now are closing in on purchasing a plot of land north of Scottsdale?
Well, better in the sense that, this is a legit property. It doesn't need remediation, which means you don't have to go in there and spend millions of dollars clean it up before you start building on it. So it's ready for construction. Skeptical? Yes, because how many times have we had this conversation? And whether it's a partnership or it's this or it's that, it always seems to fall through at the 11th hour. Well, they're at the 11th hour now with this purchase of land, and the NHL is going to need to have it secured and the finances in place for the actual building of the arena in the next few weeks. I would say early in the new year. Otherwise, you look into February and all of a sudden, you're planning for the regular season schedule for next year. Okay, so where are the Arizona Coyotes going to play? They can play at Mullen Arena as long as there is an intent and a MOU, a memorandum of understanding, that they are going to follow through with the construction of the building. And if they don't have that, guys, then I got the sense from around that board and discussing with, everyone from the commissioner's office through owners, governors, that we're seriously going to then start looking at relocation as being the only option left.
Yeah, that's fair. And that makes sense. That matches all the conversations we've had forever. It is crazy to think it might finally happen. A, the rink, or B, the relocation, given how steadfast and hard-headed about it the commissioner's been. And I get it. It's a big market. If it were to work, it would be great. I just didn't realize anyone could be this dedicated to a cause for this long and turn down so many other offers. So the frustration with the league about it, is this strictly a revenue issue, or it's like, hey, we have 32 member parties and one of them's way down here because you're playing in a junior rink? Is that the frustration that other owners have?
Well, you know what, man, the frustrations, there's so many layers to frustration here because it goes back for so long. And now the league has removed itself from financially having to prop up the Arizona Coyotes by injecting actual other owners' cash into keeping the team afloat. That doesn't happen anymore, but it's a tough look on the NHL. This literally is a small junior hockey facility.
Yeah.
And, the National Hockey League is the best league in the world. You don't get that experience as a player when you're playing at Mullen Arena. The ice apparently isn't very good. I've never actually been there. But the creature comforts that, these players have grown accustomed to and expect just aren't there. So there's lots of different reasons why the owners and the governors have had enough. But they've shown Commissioner Bettman the respect over the years because he's made them richer than they were when they came into the National Hockey League as owners, to allow him to continue to navigate the process. So that's honestly, that level of respect is the only reason we're still talking about it, because there are many owners around the National Hockey League that would have pulled the pin on this a long time ago.
Yeah, that's fair. Is there any, I wonder how the NHL and their decision makers, be it owners, board of governors, league office, has viewed this NBA in-season tournament.
Yeah.
It's not, I think for the NBA, it's going to work and make a lot of sense, because I think the NBA has a challenge with meaningful regular season games. They set stars all the time. You just know who the good teams are. I think the NHL regular season is much more compelling. So I don't know that the need for it is as great, but are there some things to steal from the NBA here?
Well, again, if you look at the traditionalists, and that's Commissioner Bettman, and probably the majority of the executive committee, and maybe most of the owners too, they don't love following in the footsteps of other major sport. They don't. That's why, excuse me, they're over the moon that they got the NHL draft in Vegas settled down, and they're going into the Sphere as the first major sport operation to do so. So they take great pride in that. They don't like interrupting the regular season schedule. I think it would be fabulous for the fans. So there's really multiple sides to this conversation as well. You've got the traditional owners, probably Commissioner Bettman, who doesn't love the idea of shutting down the regular season, even briefly, because there are so many other things that can encourage that. But then you've got Steve Mayer in the marketing department of the National Hockey League, who were doing cartwheels in the hallway at the Four Seasons in Seattle when the Sphere, it didn't have to be voted on, but it was made official, right? Because it's such a significant showcase for the National Hockey League. And really, that's what Mayor and company in the marketing department do. So I can assure you that that group is in favor of an in-season tournament because it would generate eyeballs. It would create a buzz around the National Hockey League, but I still think it's doubtful.
Is that not better than an All-Star game?
Yeah. Although this year
totally different, right? I mean, the tournament would take weeks or months. The All-Stars is 2-3 days.
Yeah. This year it's going to be a little bit different at the All-Star. How about this one? And I found out about it at the last second. We were literally about to tape, our final Board of Governors segment for TSN, and I ran into somebody who would know all about this. And he said, has anybody talked to you about the revamped look of the skills competition? Well, automatically, I'm like, I don't really care. I don't.
Yeah, but I'm with you.
You know where he got my attention, Rhett, was, he said, okay, well, it's going to be the individual players and the individual skill competitions. There's going to be 8. They're going to have to select 6 each. And, they're graded accordingly on a point basis. And one player, a single player, the overall champion of the skills competition gets $1 million.
That'll get to give a
7
fuck
figures.
I like that.
So then I'm like, okay, hold on a second. Now we're talking. Now, how much of that has to be associated with charity? I don't know all the inner work.
But I think that's hugely motivational. I was at the rink. I was at the rink with my kids' team last night, and I was talking to some of the coaches, and we had the NBA tournament on. Yeah. And I said, and I don't. Maybe they are doing it, but I said, if you so to win the tournament or the winners of the tournament have they've got so much money. Make it $1 million. And then the guys were like, well, what's $1 million to these guys? And I'm like, no. Make it $1 million for a charity or for one kid or for one family or for something special.
Yeah.
Because how great optically is it? And how great is it for the people that get it? Like, make it important because it's important, not because of a bunch of hoopla, right?
Yeah,
like
100%.
You can actually fix people's lives with this.
Yeah.
Instead of just, I had the hardest shot and I got 10 grand. Well, give that to someone where that's really going to matter.
Yeah, and players go into the event, the weekend in general, half-hearted, right? Like, and I get it. You don't want to get hurt. You're in certain cases, younger players, you enjoy being there, but you'd rather be somewhere hot and sunny for 3-4 days than in Toronto at the All-Stars. So this is going to get people's attention. I hope from a television perspective, they pick the pace up a little bit too, right? That we can, because
it's in Florida last year. It was forever that skills. I took the kids, sat with Jovanovski in his suite and watched, and it was like, this is oh boy.
So maybe the extra juice of a 7-figure payout to the overall skills competition champion will kind of get things more motivated.
I hope so, because it's like you go and watch it. But anyway, I guess the having a tournament like that would be a little bit. Longer,
it'll help, but again, there's always, for good ideas, the National Hockey League always seems to have a counter idea or a reason to push back on whatever that good idea is.
And it's what you say they don't want to copy and stuff. That's fine. They come up with something unique. Like go ahead.
I pitch you guys on something because 15, 20 years ago, I was working for a junior hockey team at the time, and I thought, I was just starting to get into European football a bit. And I was like, it's really cool. Whether you're a premiership team or a championship or a first division, all the way down, they all play for the FA Cup, which is all of England's soccer teams are in this tournament. And you can be the champ of the country, not the premiership champion, not Champions League, which is all European nations, but it was a tournament that went on in the soccer season or the footy season that allowed teams from different levels to play. And I'm not suggesting that in hockey, but Dregs, how would you feel if there was a 7-team Canadian trophy that got given away, say, Jan or Feb, where it's not unlike the in-season tournament? You build it into regular season games. You load up on Canada versus Canada around the holidays. Yeah. And then all you're really doing is finding the top, let's say 4, putting them in a bracket, adding those games. Everything else is in your regular season. And then you do a similar tournament in the States where it would be a bigger bracket, more teams involved, but you'd have a second trophy to play for. One in Canada, one in the States, and then, of course, the Stanley Cup. Like, that to me is how you could make it more interesting for hockey fans, because I don't think a Philly, Vancouver thing would mean much. But if you could say we were the best team in Canada in 2024, that would kind of be neat. We saw it that one lockout year, that North Division. Yeah. There's something there, I think.
I'm with you, man. I like the brainstorming. I like conceptualizing about all of that. The problem that I have, and I'm kind of repeating myself, I've covered Commissioner Bettman in the National Hockey League for 30 years. Yeah. Basically 30 years. And even something as simple as a tweak to the playoff matrix or a play-in game or a play-in 3-game series just completely gets dismissed. Yeah. Every single time. So we can spitball and we can come up with some wild and wonderful ways of growing the game. But it just seems like the NHL continues to want to take baby steps instead of embracing something really significant. Like, they talked about that 4-nation event, which is supposed to be the World Cup. And we know it's Canada, it's the United States, it's Finland and Sweden. Well, automatically, we can all come up with 20 star NHL players who aren't going to be able to participate in that because they're not from one of those 4 countries. And you know what? For those players, they're okay with it because, that event is going on in February of 2025. These guys are taking that break and they're going to the beach. So, getting everybody on side for all of these things is probably the biggest challenge of all.
And to give them credit, they are getting this best on best off the ground. I've been crushing them. It's been on almost 10 years since we had best on best. Crosby's never been on the same team as McDavid. You've never had Pat Kane, Austin Matthews together. It's wild that we could be in the era of the greatest internationally hockey rivalry ever. Canada-USA right now would be unbelievable. And we haven't seen it. That's a huge shortcoming. At least they've got that sorted for next year.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, so Bettman is crafty, right? I mean, this guy's a wily old veteran, and topic of international hockey came up, and we mentioned the 4-team event, but the Olympics was also discussed. And so far, the league and the Players Association were working in a partnership to try and get the IOC and the IIHF to substantially share in insurance costs and the family fees and all that goes on to the business side. For the first time, and look, we know that the NHL doesn't love the Olympics. I'm talking about the National Hockey League and the owners. Yeah. It's because of the players you just talked about and their absolute want to be back on the Olympic stage, that this is a slow revolving process. But Bettman made it clear there's some pretty big hurdles. I just mentioned a couple of them from the business front, but they've just dug the pilings on a new arena that needs to be built in Italy to house hockey, and
it's got to be quick.
I think he referenced that if they stay on schedule, they'll have this building built 5-6 weeks prior to the start of the Olympic Games. And what if they don't? What if they hit? What if they hit other delays? And now you're not going to the city that was supposed to host hockey. Maybe it's Milan. I don't even know. You're going to a satellite city because they have an arena. And they're going to have, that's not the same Olympic experience. So, the National Hockey League is starting to push back here a little bit, probably plant the seed in the minds of the players. Careful what you wish for. Let's make sure that it's going to be world-class caliber here.
Okay, let's get to the trade front. What are you hearing out there? We saw the Nikita Zadorov deal. There's another goalie injury in Toronto, although it sounds like Samsonov is going to be back soon enough from illness, I believe. Like what are the hot spots around the league for roster pinches, trades, guys wanting out?
Well, there's guys wanting out. I mean, the Tyson Barrie situation in Nashville is that's interesting, and it is hot. I mean, you get that from both sides. I mean, talk about your pride getting shattered. Tyson Barrie never scratched before, and there he is, a healthy scratch. And obviously Barry Trotz didn't like the way that he or his agent handled it by going public. That stuff always gets out. I mean, when you tell 31 teams that this player is available, guess what happens? We report on it because we find out about it.
Yep.
His salary is a bit of a challenge. He's a dwinger, right? Half defense, half winger. That suits some teams and some coaches, but not all. I think that they'll find a landing spot for him. Beyond that, look, I mean, Toronto is still digging. And if they could make a deal with Calgary for Chris Tanev, they'd do that in a heartbeat. The problem is, Conroy recognizes that he's got a good commodity here. He's got a few of them. And if you're trading Chris Tanev, you're not doing it for less than a second-round draft pick. Toronto doesn't have a second-round draft pick. They don't. I mean, Kyle Dubas traded them all away because, he wanted to be the guy to go all in for the Leafs as the GM. So that's a problem for Brad Treliving. Then you look at the Philadelphia guys. Sean Walker's creating a buzz. He is. Yeah. He's the smallest defenseman, but he's really good. Good defensively. The offensive numbers are there. He's going to get paid a chunk this offseason. But Philadelphia likes him. John Tortorella, believe it or not, likes him. He's 5'10", but he plays the game the right way. So Torts is big on him. So they're going to want upwards of a first-round pick. Well, Toronto doesn't want to pay a first-round pick for that either. So in the meantime, they've got to kind of sit back and be patient, which is going to get challenged with Joe Woll significantly injured. We don't know the specifics yet, but we know that he's going to be out for a while. Good. So, yeah, I mean, you either try and make a deal, and some are speculating, well, what would Calgary want for Vladar? I mean, you're going to get lots of that now with the injury to Joe Woll. But that's also why you protected Marty Jones the way that they did early in the year, right? I mean, this guy he's a proven NHL goaltender. Hasn't played in a while, but he came in ice cold in Ottawa last night and made a couple of big saves. That game could have turned in a hurry because Joe Woll was out of his mind in that game until he got hurt. So there's a few hot spots around the league. Yeah.
I think I like hearing what you said about Conroy. If Zadorov hadn't gone public, I might feel a little more differently about it. But I just think if you've got a really, really valuable asset, don't just jump at that first offer. Get that bidding war you want. That's where you can really get max value at the deadline. Yeah. And if you're thinking it's a first for Walker, Dregs, I mean, geez, what's Noah Hannafin? He's got a really palatable salary and can eat more minutes than Walker, who's having a great year nonetheless.
Yeah, since I get from dealing with the agent there, Pat Brisson with Noah Hannafin, I mean, the perfect scenario would be the one that moved Pierre-Luc Dubois from Winnipeg to the Los Angeles Kings. So Hannafin goes, but he only has to move once. So they make a trade, they make the deal on the extension, and he's set for perhaps the remainder of his career. And I checked with Pat on that on Wednesday, and he said it's really quiet on the Hannafin front. And and again, that could be part of Calgary's positioning too. He's a valued player. Maybe you revisit the idea of signing, but I'm not so sure that if I'm Calgary, I'm doing that either. I mean, when a player pushes away from a $60 million extension, $60 million
says a lot.
It does to me, and I don't know Noah Hannafin at all, but if you're ownership, you got to be a little pissed off, don't you?
Too good to take our money. You want to go somewhere else for less. He's not going to get 60 over 7 years. We know that, Dreger. The only way he's going to get that money is a sign and trade. And we're probably talking about deadline when more money's run off the books and you got a better clarity on who's contending. Yeah, and that's why you have to be patient for him, because you might as well maximize whatever that return is coming back, right? So, and it's as far as defense goes, Zadorov got traded, but that's typical of Jimmy Rutherford and how he does business. We know Patrick Allvin's the GM there, but
Jimmy doesn't like to have weak spots or empty chairs. So they land Zadorov early, and now they'll sit tight and see if they want to add another piece on the defense. That's just the MO of Rutherford. And now Conroy and company are going to keep their powder dry and just stay patient.
They find themselves in a Ryan. Conroy they sneak out a win last night. They've had a really tough schedule, but did we have them at 4-3 in this? Huh?
Yeah, they're 3-2 on the homestand. I think they're 500 on this. There's a 15-game marathon here. We're calling the Gauntlet Run. They're 500.
But are they? My opinion has always been they're not good enough, and even if they make it, they're not really a threat.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of owners and GMs that say, I don't give a shit. We get into playoffs and anything can happen. Are the Flames possibly going to find themselves in the same situation that Conroy absolutely dreaded, where they've got free agents and they're a point or two out from the playoffs, and now you're going, now what?
Yeah. And then that term own rental comes into play, right? Where you're sitting there going, okay, well, we need Noah Hannafin to win a couple of dates and extend our playoff lives. How do you leave the return that you're getting for a piece like that on the table? And fundamentally, I mean, that I hear what you're saying, Rhett, and trust me, we deal with this almost on an annual basis, because at the end of the day, it is about making money when you're Murray Edwards and company. It has to be, or at least getting to that break-even point. So it's going to get delicate, but I'm sure that they've talked about those scenarios. In the meantime, you enjoy the ride because you're still selling tickets in the regular season.
Yep.
And you need your team in that market, in a Canadian market, to show that they can stay and be competitive. And right now they're doing that. But it's a good point, and it'll be a significant storyline if we creep into the new year and all of a sudden the Calgary Flames are in a playoff spot or just on the outside looking in.
Wanted to give you the floor on a team that I think has kind of been lying in the weeds, not in the standings, but when the offseason, all the talk in the Pacific was about the Oilers. A month in, it was, oh my gosh, Vegas hasn't lost a beat. They're not tired. They're still flying. They're still the team to beat. Vancouver, oh my goodness, what a hot start. What a fit it's been with Tocchet. All their stars are playing well. Quinn for the Norris. Demko's back, coach of the year. The LA Kings might be the best team in the Pacific Division, and I think Rob Blake's quietly built a monster there. Whether they address goaltending down the road, if they need to, they don't now. Talbot another shutout last night, but this team's unreal.
Wild, man. 11 straight wins on the road to start the year. A record. I mean, it's incredible how that group is all pulled together. And I think, Ryan, you're right in starting with Rob Blake, because I remember having this conversation with him last year about, okay, well, what direction are you going to go? Are you going to try and transition a little bit and try and get a bit younger? And he goes, well, yes, to a point, but this is the manager talking. I feel like I owe it to Anze Kopitar and to Drew Doughty and to the experienced players who have done all the heavy lifting here to give them one more crack. And he's done that. And look, it hasn't been easy. Look at the play of Quinton Byfield here.
Unreal.
This guy has been developed the way every NHL player should be developed. A high pick in the NHL draft. Most teams go, oh, we can't have a pick that high, just developing in the American Hockey League. No. He's gotta be up so the fans can get a look at him, especially in a market like LA. They didn't do that. And now Quinton Byfield, who, by the way, I just assumed at the start of the year when he had a good training camp, I'm like, okay, well, they got to be grooming this kid to be a center iceman, ultimately maybe to replace Kopitar. And they said the response was, well, probably, but that's why we went out and got Pierre-Luc Dubois, so that we took more pressure off Byfield so he could continue to develop his game now on the wing. He's going to be a centerman in Los Angeles.
Eventually,
I think they've done things the right way there. And then you watch how they play. It's not the most electrifying game you're going to see, right? But you mentioned Cam Talbot. Okay, number one, Cam Talbot is healthy, but the way they defend in front of Cam Talbot, the commitment from everybody to play that structured way, I mean, that's as big a reason the Los Angeles Kings are doing what they're doing than anything else.
Yeah, I look, why not the Kings right now? And I think tip of the cap there, and they'll be a team to watch as they head into the deadline. That's down the middle. You can go Deneau, Dubois, and obviously Kopitar. You don't need to rush Byfield at all.
No.
Luxury of riches. Flames could take a couple of those guys, Red. Love that. Dregs, thanks for it. Have a great weekend. I want you to just relax at home, unpack the suitcase, get a nice coffee going, maybe a nap this afternoon. You don't need to be running around with the hair on fire anymore. Seattle when it's raining, Ottawa in the winter. You got to do travel better, man.
Well, I hear you, and I appreciate that. My next chore, so in less than 1 hour from now, is literally dragging my 150-pound Great Dane to the vet.
Oh, my God.
And trust me, when a Great Dane doesn't want to go into the front door at the vet hospital, it's a challenge. So
you need that Philly security guard, that dog, the Eagles sideline. Need some help.
So maybe a live stream of that event. I would tune in.
Oh, jeez. It's going to be a good one. And by the way, her name is Tiny. I didn't name her. She's a rescue. We've had her for a while. So
that's cute. Enjoy the downtime, buddy.
See you guys. Thank you. Take care.
All right. There's Darren Dreger, one of our NHL insiders from TSN and on the TELUS Insider hotline for us. Reminder, you could enter to win one of 6 monthly prizes, including tickets to Calgary Flames games and awesome tech like AirPods, Apple Watches, and more. No purchase necessary. All you have to do is fill out a quick survey to enter. Go to TELUS.com/Flames contest. Reminder, TELUS and the Flames have been partners since 2005. They've got the TELUS Skater program where you see kids on the ice for the warm-ups. And, of course, the title sponsor of the Premium Club at the Dome, the TELUS Club. So thank you to them for sponsoring our hotline. I feel like we need an update from someone that knows how to travel well, like not Seattle in the rain, but something a little more, I don't know, tropical, something that would just let's bring some sun and some levity into the show.
Prince Albert?
Look at this.
Look at the red. Oh, my.
Live on the shores of Prince Albert National Park's Crean Lake. There he is, folks. The Boom Cat.
Hiya, buddy. Just having some brekkie.
Yeah, birds are chirping again. You got a acai bowl? What are you working on there? You love those there.
Corn pops.
Yeah, okay.
Or corn pops. Yep.
How you been?
They're so much better in Prince Albert. I don't know if you've had the rest of corn pops from the rest of Canada, but they're not as good. You get them from PA. I don't know what they're doing here, but
factory's got to be there.
Unbelievable.
Like that,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
And their coffee so good. Oh man!
Apparently the sun works there too.
Yeah.
It actually looks a lot worse on this camera than it is in real life. But yeah, I do look like your shirt. I look like I'm dying.
Yes.
Like I'm on the face of the sun.
I've seen you peel before, and I feel like it has that appearance again. That maybe
no peeling. Just plenty of sun. We actually we took a trip to North Battleford. Have you ever been? Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
White sand beaches. Yeah. Just beautiful, yeah. How's everything going?
We're good, man. We just had Dreger on. We've got a great Christmas deal from our boy Justin at Vina Nova that's exclusive for our barn burner buddies. And we talked about the Wolf Pup, another third period comeback victory last night. That's 6 for the Flames this season. That's triple their total from last year already. And they're 500 on the gauntlet run. I mean, I don't know. We were saying for sure we'd have clarity by Christmas, but these jerks might just be bubbly at Christmas still.
I may have illegally watched the game yesterday off of a third party. Don't tell Sportsnet.
Yeah, I won't.
But it didn't feel you didn't. I guess maybe you never feel a comeback coming sometimes. But it didn't really feel like they were going to be coming back to win that game at any point, did it? It was just they're going to limp into the night here and that'll be another loss in the gauntlet run. And then bang, bang. And then again, they get a little bit of, now call it good luck, but it was the right call. Wolf got, he was interfered and couldn't reset, but they got a couple bounces here and there. And God, don't we love Zary? Goes to the net and 3-2, Bob's your uncle. They win again. It doesn't change anything, at least for me, in terms of thinking what they are. I still think, what are we, a couple weeks away from Christmas? I think I'm still going to hold true to the December 23rd barometer check once we get there. But I think in the big picture, you see, Rasmus Anderson's not new, but he's part of the core moving forward. You've got Zari, you've got Wolf. You like seeing Soloviev out there doing some different. It's good. It's good. Not for right now. Yeah, just good. Happy to see some of these guys making an impact right now. So
yeah.
But don't win a whole bunch
That's
more.
what I was just gonna say. How about you go to overtime and lose and just get 1 point? Like, let's not.
Yeah.
They do play 3 and 4 on the road, fellas. They go Denver to Vegas back to back, and then into Minnesota, who've looked much better third and 4. And if you want to know what 3rd and 4 looks like, watch Carolina in the 3rd last night. They just ran out of gas. I think the schedule is going to sort of help them along. They're not going to have to sort of hold back the Stallions, so to speak, in the next week, but. Again, they can surprise us.
But remember when this whole thing started and you kind of look at these games, it's like, well, you know what, though? These are all very good teams. You got Vegas here, you got Carolina there, but there's no guarantee that those teams are going to be at max potential or playing their best hockey when you play them. And we saw that. You saw it with Vegas, you saw it with Carolina. Like you say, by the time they got to the 3rd period, they were out of gas. So but it'll work also on the other side, I think, as you move forward. They'll lose some games to teams that even by then you feel like maybe they should beat, unless we're completely off. And I do feel it's kind of a shitty attitude to have when they come back for a 3rd period win at home and beat a top team, and we're like, oh well, I guess it's okay. I just feel like I'm still living big picture wise. Yep. Where I'll take the effort. I'll take sure. It's not about the points. It's about the resiliency and more than just getting a win, I guess.
For me, it's what we talked about with Dreger, and we've talked about it till we're blue in the face. But it's the having free agents when you're within striking distance or in a playoff spot, and now what the F do you do? Free agents that have said, we're out of here.
Yeah.
But we're going to need these guys. We're a point out, Dean. We need these guys. Yeah. We need a Hanifin for the stretch run.
No, and you know what? It's funny you bring that up, Retro, because I was watching with my kid last night, and he's like, man, Zary, he's good, the Wolf, and this and that. And you're actually thinking the other way. It's not get to the deadline and who can we add as a free agent. It's imagine if you got more young guys. Imagine if you traded Hanifin and those other guys, and you had a few more Zarys and Coronados and Wolves and these other guys. Because I think that's the vision and the mentality I think that you have to take. Don't go get free agents. Don't bring in some washed up guy. Get some more young guys. See what the young kids can do. Christ, it's happening around the league. We've been talking about it. Get a trade done. Get some picks. Get some more younger guys. It's going to serve this team better probably in the future and even right now.
Yes, and I would be okay with keeping Hanifin, even though the number we heard was massive. But if you're going to get youth and you can do it through trading Tanev and Lindholm and one of your goaltenders, do that, right? Yeah. Because they don't have Soloviev. Great. I'm not ready to hang my hat on the guy, right? Whereas if you can get younger and add a few more of those guys that could contribute, and Pelche, you still need defensemen.
Yep.
They're hard to find. Like you can see around the league, everyone we need a D. We could use a D. D would be good, right? It's not easy to fill that hole. And it's almost more difficult for a defenseman. This is going to sound stupid, but it is. Everything's difficult. It's hard for Zari to come in and play as well as he has, but it's also hard for a young defenseman to figure it out in the league. I
agree. The mistakes are magnified, Rat. You make a mistake as a blue liner, like you look at Solovyov's game 2 games ago, it's like turned inside out first shift 1-0. You're like, oof. If Zary turns over the puck, there's still 3, 4, 5 guys behind him. Like it's I agree with you. If you're young in this league as a D, it is unforgiving.
And you see the level of the young D that are coming in, guys that can step in. It really makes you take your hat off to these guys. Because good heavens, if you can come in at 19 or 20 or 21 and you can handle today's speed, today's skill, you can handle that and chip in a bit yourself. It's no wonder we're seeing guys like Cale Makar on the best all-time list by the time he's in his early 20s. So I get what you're saying, Retro, for sure. You just hope that maybe somewhere along the way some team is throw in that young defense prospect you have, because you need Hanifin right now. And down the road, I was watching last night, 2 goals for Philip Forsberg. Go get that Philip Forsberg deal. Find some team that needs a player right now and they'll shed with the top prospect in order to do so. Then you've got a stud for the next 15 years.
Okay, we don't want to interrupt too much of your vacation, but we are bringing you on because we got big news. Now, the Top Shelf Elf, we launched on Wednesday. Yesterday, we had the Sutters in. Yeah, you're looking like you got lots of sun.
It's just kind of the angle. Because if I was gonna, we're okay.
It's the sun. It's Prince Albert this time of year. We've all I mean, some of us understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want too many. You don't want to get crowded there. So what we're going to rip through and have a look at some of the things going on here, but we do want to say a huge shout out to our presenting sponsor, the Top Shelf Elf for year 2, McLeod Law. You know, Peter Klein, he is the personal injury guy at McLeod Law, also disability insurance claims. And if you've got an employment law situation, we've got Shane King as well at McLeod Law. Great people, Calgary roots. And rather than go down memory lane with a Flames highlight today, we're happy to tell you about some of the great items we got. And there's some Flames tie-ins, Boom, including, I think we should start with, McLeod Law has got a little package together here that involves the Flames and some game day experiences this season, which I think is awesome. So let's take a look at this. Nationgear.ca is the website, Boom, where all the items are. And this one just came in yesterday from the gals and fellas over at McLeod. 2 center ice tickets, Calgary against San Jose in February. We're talking like right above the cameras. You put the cameras in a spot that's great for watching the game. They are right there. First couple rows of the second deck. Amazing seats. 4 seats for the Hitmen against Tri-City. Those are lower bowl seats. Also, you get a wine basket, I believe, a value of over a couple $100 on that as well. So it's Hitmen for 4, Flames for 2, really nice wine basket. That's a hell of a package right there.
And imagine if people like McLeod Law, if they're saying luxurious, I mean, that's mind-blowing for us. I mean, you throw some sourpuss in there and some baby duck wine. We're like, this is pretty luxurious. I'm thinking for them, it's got to be really amazing. So I love that. You get you get a couple of hockey games there and a nice little prize pack. That is awesome. So happy to have McLeod Law. Again, we can just continue. Are we fooling them? They just continue to support us and do great by us. I don't know what's happening, but we appreciate it.
Calgary, I appreciate it. People better than us.
Gracious. Yeah. Totally better than us. Yeah. So
still.
Thank you, McLeod Law. Yeah. Thank you.
And you've been
don't
grinding
look any deeper. Yeah.
Despite your vacation, you've been well, I think you might have stolen Rhett's phone because you've been reaching way up into the Flames organization for our next package.
No, well, in fairness, I procrastinate and I put things off and you forget about things. And then the Calgary Flames have come on board, reached out, and you hate to do it in a certain way, but it's for such a great cause. So here's what it's going to be. A game to be determined, donated by the Calgary Flames. You and 3 friends, you and 3 guests, the winning bidder, will come to the morning skate. I will meet you there. We will head inside the dome and we will watch the Flames morning skate with Craig Conroy. We'll sit down and you can ask Craig all the questions you want to ask. You'll get the entire Craig Conroy experience. You might get to say a word or two, right? Because once he gets started, we know how he is. But he's very generous with his time and he wanted to do anything he could, and we landed on this. So 4 tickets to the game that night. So, and they're going to be great seats. You know that. So you'll, me, less of a big deal. The seats and Craig are very good and a very big deal, but I'll chaperone you through. We'll meet at the Dome that morning. And if you've never been, listen, we kind of take it for granted. Brett, you were in hundreds of them in your career, but as a fan to get kind of into that spot and see things that you don't ordinarily see is pretty cool. So we'll watch morning skate, visit with Craig Conroy for a bit, and then you've got 4 great tickets to the game that night. And again, to be determined, we're going to work on Craig's schedule, obviously, if he is in town, and with your schedule. So I don't think it'll be too hard. Craig's with the team a lot. So if they're at home, chances are he's at home. And we'll nail that game down, probably safe to say, in the new year. So that is awesome. Thank you, Calgary, and thank you, Flames, and thank you, Craig.
March 4th, a couple days ahead of the deadline, sit down with Craig, just listen to him answer calls. That could be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I should have gone for that. We'll be in the war room with you on trade deadline day. Help take some calls. You'd be like Buddy the Elf when he's in with his dad. There, Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color? Please, I'm trying to. It's so yeah. Craig wanted to help out, and that's going to be cool. So thank
Craig,
you, Flames, for coming in with that.
You need Lafreniere. Come on, you don't get, if you're sending him to New York, you need him back. He was first. Craig, we know where he was picked. Thank you. Yeah, Mark, we're gonna have to ask you to leave.
Connie, I was listening there. I think you could hold out for a first. I think they're desperate. That's what I would do. So we'll see. Maybe watch on Monday. Maybe on Monday we'll have that prize back to announce. Not likely, but
the deadline war room.
There you go. Yeah. So that's cool. What do we got, a week, right, for all of these auction items now?
We do. Wolverines in town. We're talking with them. It'll either be next Friday or the following Monday. One of the things is, if we do have a good ballpark of what the money is, we can cut them a check on that Friday, because we need to leave time for these families to get taken care of for Christmas, right? It's the whole idea of Closer to Home and their Adopt a Family program is that you're allowing families to have Christmas that would not otherwise be able to experience it. What an incredible thing that is. And we were so proud to hear some of the letters those families wrote about what an incredible time it was. But if we know a ballpark, we can send them some of the money of that Friday, and maybe we can let bids come in till the Monday over the weekend, Dean, but we don't have a lot of time here.
Yeah. And you know what is cool about this with Closer to Home and their Adopt a Family is, and there's nothing wrong about giving at this time of year, but what they do and what's unique about this one is why they need the money in advance. Like you say, they come up with gift cards for either groceries, gifts, that sort of thing. And then the families go out and buy the gifts themselves, so that you experience that. It's the gift of giving, right? It's not as though a wrapped present is walking in the door and it goes under the tree and then they open it and you don't know what it is either. When the kids open it or whoever opens it, you go out and you use your imagination and what they might like. So they put so much thought into it, and I know we all feel really strongly about it. So it's a very, very cool thing all around. So it's getting the money so they could get the gift cards, and then giving the families 10 days or so to go out and do the actual shopping themselves and be ready for Christmas Day. So that's why there's kind of that deadline on it.
Very good. Let's quickly have a little scroll through with Jack there. I know while you were talking there, he went through the website just sort of to highlight. I know we haven't spent a ton of time talking about the packages because we had guests in studio yesterday. We launched this whole thing on Friday, but again, people are very, very interested to watch this show live and in person and come to lunch with us. I don't know why that's the hotcakes.
The Barn Burner experience. It's one of the top bidders. It was a year ago. Mark bought that one up, and we had a heck of a good time. Come in studio, watch the show, hang with us. You'll get the tour of the place, which will take about 15, 20 seconds or so. But no, you'll hang out and see what it is that we do, and then we'll go have lunch. Greg from Bonton is back in, of course. He has got the behind quarter of just some beautiful meat, right? When you think about it, Rhett, if that's under your Christmas tree, just a hind quarter of a cow sitting there.
I know how much I spend.
Better, but
I know how much I spend on beef. Might be bidding that one up.
Yeah. We talked about store wall the other day. That's truly it'll change your entire garage setup. It's tremendous. The guys and girls out at Origin, that'll be a fun one for sure. The Cody and Rhonda Snyder are back. I think they had our top bid last year.
Certainly one of them,
VIP package for 4 to the Bull Bustin', which breaking news, but it will not affect you. It's been 4 days every year. They go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They've now pushed it to 5. A 5th day has been added to the Bull Bustin', but it's sold out. It's sold out.
I don't know how they do this, Steve. They just add more and it's already sold out.
The demand is crazy, the demand for sponsorship and tickets, and that's why they did it. It just looks, how many days could you do of this? But they understand this. Obviously, they've capped it off, but they went for a 5th day, and it's sold out in just a matter of days. So it's a 4-pack of tickets. VIP, you get VIP parking, some food and drink vouchers. They got the pre-party, Ryan, you and I were there last year. They got the pre-party, the post-party, a live band, and then VIP seating in the Snyder section, which is pretty great as well. So that's an awesome one. I don't want to leave anybody out. Some of those other ones that were in there, all of them great packages.
Really quick,
nationgear.ca, again, just get in there and take a look.
3 sports teams, all of a package. Calgary Surge, the basketball team, their season openers at the Saddle Dome this year. That's a huge step up from WinSport in terms of capacity. It should be a raucous night, a great way to kick off the season. We got 4 seats and 4 Surge jerseys, which are deadly. That package is getting some run. Calvary FC, 4 tickets, parking pass, meet and greet with Tommy Wilden Jr., the head coach manager. after the game. That's kind of fun. Tommy's a legend and incredibly kind with his time, so we love that package. And the Calgary Stampeders tailgating pass, 4 tickets, home openers, team signed jersey. Those are the sports teams in town as well, and there's just a ton more. I know a brewery tour is good for me as well. That sort of fits I could do that.
And also, I'll throw this out there because I know one of our partners wants to get involved, but doesn't really have something that works. Just wants to cut a check, wants to financially contribute. Yep. And for some places that's great. We want to help out, but we don't really. It's hard for us to come up with an experience. But how can we help out? I guess reach out to us. My email is boomer@flamesnation.ca. And if you would just like to financially help out, we'd love to take the check, and we'll take it over to Closer for Home, and it makes a huge difference, man. Like I said the other day, when you see the cards and letters from kids, and you think how happy and excited they were, that otherwise it just would have been another day. Another wintry day in Calgary, it hits you right in the heart. So boomer@flamesnation.ca is my email. Send it to me directly, and we will we'll take care of that for you.
Also, should note there is a link for that we'll push out on social media today. If you just want to donate financially, maybe you don't have enough dough to. Oh, geez, I was in that one, but it's kind of over my threshold now. You can still donate to the charity. We'll be giving away some prizes for people that are making cash donations through NationGear to the Christmas charity.
Another quick note, guys. The Flames.
Who is this?
Yeah, what is that?
Who am I hearing? What am I?
Is it a Pelican?
Is that Mike Tomlin? Is that Mike Tomlin in the unemployment line?
The Flames experience is not on NationGear yet. It is expected to be up there at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, that's going to be a banger.
Noon. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So launch at noon, and I do believe do we have the McLeod Law one up there yet? Or yeah, we do.
McLeod Law, I think, went up yesterday.
Yep,
and while we're at it, thank you to obviously Ryan. You've been rolling on this week. I don't know, Red. Have you done anything for this?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Ryan, you've taken full control of this. Jarrod, Jared, and Jack. But special thanks to Maddie and Kennedy with our Oilers Nation office. They have been handling a ton of this to get the website, to get the donation links. That's way beyond our pay grade. So everything that's happening on Nation Gear as far as the artwork and graphics and the bidding process was all handled by Madison and Kennedy and those guys. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
One of the ones that's new this year and that I do feel like we got to shed some light on because it's so unique. The Waste Management, the crazy golf tournament in Phoenix, Canada to USA.com has provided that waste management package for us. 4 passes on the 16th hole. That's the stadium hole. It's the craziest hole in golf. Our good pal Darcy Hordichuk is that's one of his ventures, Canada to USA.com, helping Canadians get into the States, whether that's insurance, car rentals, you're trying to find a real estate agent, currency exchanges, just makes life a little easier if you're doing that. They've put forth 4 passes to the craziest hole in golf. I love it.
We got to get Hordichuk on next week, right?
Yes.
Because this is one of those things I think we haven't talked about enough. I don't even know if you can buy this. Like you talk about putting together packages that you can't buy in a store or whatever. This is unbelievable. It's one of the most sought after tournaments in golf, period, around the globe. Everyone talks about it. You talk about a bucket list item. This is it. So we should definitely try and get him on and get some of the stories because he has donated this. And like you say, we can't sleep on this. This should be this should bring in huge dough. Canada to USA.com for the waste management for you to get in there. And and we'll get the details from him next week, but you're not just standing on the green side. This is you're in good shape here. So
you're not getting vomited on by frat boys, right? You're not going to be there. You'll be close enough no vomit on your shoes.
Well, vomited on by VIPs and executives,
that's
not frat boys. You'll be up in the exclusive area where you'll get puked on. Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna, what it is, we're gonna have to be nicer. Because I look at the Stampeders, like they came through and donated something, and
they did.
We kind of
already at $500.
kind of take runs at them every once in a while.
I never
Yeah.
take runs at him. I mean, Pinder's kind of get Dave fired, but I think it's ignorant.
I know, yeah. Well, and then I was thinking on the other side, though, Red, with Calgary, they come back in with another nice prize pack. Tommy Wheeldon's going to be part of it, and
Tommy and I are tight. I just want to get Tommy over the top. I don't want him to get too high on the hog. I'm trying to push the buttons to keep him.
I think Tommy might be in Prince Albert as well. He's showed me some photos. You should reach out to him.
He did reach out. He is also here in.
Yeah,
I think he's in Kelvington, actually.
Yeah, maybe you guys could go snowmobiling together, hey?
Yeah, the same sort of area, but not the same island kind of thing. So yes, that's right.
Different lake. I got it.
But yeah, so many great prizes there. Love it. Yeah, I'm happy we were able to do it again. So thanks to everybody who's been bidding and all of that. So we'll make sure. I guess we got to get one of those big checks, right? Remember we got
one up here. Yeah.
The big Happy Gilmore check. Can we use that one over again, or once there's marker on it, is it on there?
I don't know if that's permanent. I think it looks permanent. We'll need to make another. It says 2022 top right corner. Well, we're excited about it, and we'll shed a little more light on each of these packages over the next week or so to wrap this thing up, because it was just Wednesday we launched it, and we do want to explain a little more about each package, give it its time. So we'll look forward to doing that throughout the course of next week. And again, there is a link. It says donation. It's not a package, it's a donation. If you just want to support the charity, there's a way to do that. We will have some prizing for people making donations. You just click on it. It's right next to all the other packages. It just says donation. So if you're looking for the link to send some money to Closer to Home, a great charity this time of year in Calgary of all places, that's how you do that.
Very nice. Very nice.
How's Jack doing?
How's Jack doing? Is he all right?
It's rough.
It's snowfall today. He's at home.
Goosh.
Really?
Foot of snow.
Is it the snowfall or is it?
No. Yeah. Jack, how are the roads for the 2 blocks?
They had to drink away a memory.
Are they gonna?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Fire Tomlin.
I think it was a week ago, Boomer. I told you would regret picking the Cardinals, and then they went on to get blown out, and then 4 days later they lost to the Patriots.
So bad.
Yeah.
Just when they had your hopes back up.
Yeah. It has been. You know what? It's great. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the roller coaster that he's been on, because he's been off and on and up and down. It's been. Yeah. I didn't expect that. No, we got. Are we doing our picks?
Let's do it right now. We got. I want you to talk.
I got time.
Good.
I got time for you. I'm here. Let's go.
It's Friday. It's football picks. We do it for Betway. Get the app on your phone, desktop, whatever it is. 19 plus, Ontario only. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Here's what we do every Friday. Red, it's the only day of the week you'll get his insights on wagering. Here we start with Boomer, who is tied for the lead, I believe, at 21-15. Boomer, who do you have this weekend in the NFL?
Did I go perfect last week? Because I wasn't on the show.
We gave you some love Tuesday morning.
Did you?
3-0, buddy. You have made a charge. It looked like Rhett just throwing darts wasn't going to be caught, but you've reeled him in.
Yeah. I felt looking at these picks, I almost wanted to go back and kind of do the same thing again, looking at that Miami spread. It's so big, but at the same time, just lay the number. I didn't go there. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. The Falcons, they have screwed me so many times. But I just look at this. If you're the home team and you're getting 2 to 3, you're telling me the Falcons and Buccaneers are the same team. They're not. Atlanta is just in many different measures a better football team. So I'll take the home team -2. Okay. Houston at the Jets. This one scares me a little bit, but the Jets do not score points, and you can go ahead and put
shouldn't be scary.
You can put the MILF Hunter back in. I don't think it's going to matter on the other side. I know the Tank Dell is out, but they've still got some weapons there. I think they've got enough. And the thing is that when you're at the Meadowlands, is it really home field advantage? I don't know. Fans go in there and boo the Jets more than they do the visitors. So I'll take Houston -3.5. And then this one was tough. Philly at Dallas. It's the hook. It's that 0.5.
Yeah.
Philly did not look good a week ago. Dallas is cruising. This feels like one of those ones. Come on, Cowboys at home. That's easy. I'm going to take the Eagles on the road and the points +3.5. looking for the Eagles to get right and maybe for some of the shine to come off Dallas a little bit. So those are my picks for Week 14.
Been red hot, Dino, 21-15. I had my first losing week since going opposite George. I was 1-2 last week since I revamped my process where I do the exact same thing, but then go against what because I'm really smart, what I think will happen. I go against it. I've been on a heater until last week. So the question is, do I stick with that strategy and understand that it can't be Nashville every night? You are going to have the odd 1-2 week, or do I have to go back and reinvent the wheel? I think I got to stick with the process, fellas. It's been a really good 6 weeks, right?
Remarkable. Very commendable, sir. Well, so good work by you. Yeah.
Stick with it. So I like the Rams in Baltimore. Stafford's back. They've got Kyron Williams back. It's a team that's been a lot better than I think we thought they'd be when they sold futures to win a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. And so me liking them getting 7.5 points means I'm going to lay 7.5 with the Ravens in Baltimore. So I'm taking Baltimore. Seattle, 11 points, divisional game. That's too many points for San Fran to lay. I love Seattle plus 11, so that means I'm taking San Fran minus 11. That's a lot of points. I'm taking it. And finally, I've got the Vegas Raiders at home to Minnesota, getting 3 points. Love that for the Raiders, who've looked a lot better under Pierce, the new head coach, and Aiden O'Connell at quarterback rather than Jimmy Graps. So that means I got Minnesota -3. We'll see if the Josh Dobbs bounce back is real this week or not. We'll see, guys. If I go under 500 this week, I'm lost at sea.
Out there.
Yeah. Rhett, talk to us.
Well, Jack yelled at me, so I stuck with my guns. The Dak attack. He's going to continue to put up huge numbers for Dallas. Philly, they've had they've played too many good teams. They've had too much emotional roller coaster going on. Philly will not be able to perform. I'm sorry, Dean. Dallas will take that game. The Bills coming off the bye week, finally getting right. Going into Arrowhead, doesn't matter. Josh and the boys are going to crush. It's going to be a slop fest. They're going to beat up on these guys. They're going to beat up on the Chiefs. And I'm all in on the MILF Hunter. Go Jets, go. Jette. Let's go.
That's how you do it.
Got it. Yeah. The MILF Hunter, indeed.
Well, the Steelers aren't on this weekend slate, so I might actually win a week. I'm with Pinder. I think Josh Dobbs will bounce back. Justin Jefferson's back. Minnesota -3. Houston traveling to the Jets. The Jets are horrible. They can't score any points. Houston -3.5. And I'm with Rhett. Boomer, what is that?
Oh, there's some birds, I think.
It's the Canada Goose. It's caught in a it's a Canada Goose. It's caught in the engine of a 4-wheel drive pickup over here. It was sitting on the engine manifold to stay warm, and somebody turned the engine on, and it's all caught up into the pulleys and stuff. It's not good. We'll have it for dinner later.
Sounds good. Last pick, I'm on Rhett's Bills too. This is pretty much do or die for them coming off a bye week. The Chiefs haven't looked very good, guys.
No.
Bills +1.5 here on the road.
Wait, how surprised would you all be to hear that the Chiefs defense has more to do with them winning than their offense? Like, that's been the exact opposite of what we've seen in the Mahomes era, but it's true this year, isn't it?
They don't have a lot of weapons there, right? No, who's their Rashee Rice is their best receiver after Kelsey, obviously, and then Pacheco's been good, but not world beating. It's a different, and you know what? Every week you watch Hill and Tua light it up, and you're thinking, you had that guy. Like, that guy was in your offense. So, like, how'd that go sideways? But I don't know. For Rhett's perspective, Rhett, I hope your Bills get back in, because life's better when the Bills are good. And
they have to get back. They're going to win because they have to get back in to build your dream, and then
you have to get your hopes back up.
Yeah,
so to Rhett's point,
then
they can't break your heart unless they get
right over. Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to break your heart, and they can't do that if they just miss the playoffs. They're going to have to tease you and get you believing again, and then they'll break your heart.
Yeah. It's a killer. Just a killer.
It's true. It's true.
How's the new chair there, Red? You look very relaxed. Every time I look at a clip or something, you're like laying. It looks like you're laying down. You're half asleep.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah, looks good. You're not in the at the rink today.
I went down to the rink and forgot my computer the other day, so it was very ineffective usage.
Didn't work, eh?
Time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got one piece of business I want for you, and then we'll let you get back to your corn puffs and your
soggy
corn
no,
puffs
you don't want
and the Canadian Goose.
Soggy.
Those the hearing aids you got from the hearing loss clinic, how do they do on the beach? And I know you were filming, you weren't happy with the surroundings. Are you happy to unplug there? What do you do when you're near the water or sand? How do they turn out there?
No, you got to take them out.
Okay.
The surf was we were at Lake Diefenbaker.
Crean.
Right.
Is that what it is? We were at Lake Diefenbaker yesterday.
Or Kingsmere. Kingsmere is a tough one.
Slew sharks.
The surf was just pounding, and my kid actually lost a set of. He had the goggles or whatever you call them, the swimming mask. It went gone. We lost it, didn't find it. So, man, Lake Diefenbaker, you can't be taking your hearing aids in from hearing loss clinic. You can't do that. So, but everywhere else, when you're not going to be in that kind of an environment, you got them in all the time because it's the only immediately when you don't have them in. You're like, well, you can't hear them. Everything's dull and whatever else. I saw a picture. Actually, Rhodesy sent me a photo. I don't think you might. Lanny McDonald stopped by hearing loss clinic to have a little visit with Hannah. Lanny McDonald, a longtime customer from the hearing loss clinic as well. So all the greats are doing it. All the great ones are out there visiting the hearing loss clinic. And I think Rhodesy, if not already, stopping by, we're going to have some giveaways from the hearing loss clinic in the spirit of Christmas. So if you are not already following hearing loss clinic on Twitter and Instagram, you should do it because we're going to have some cool giveaways, some autographed merchandise and memorabilia, which I guess we're going to have to be kind of cute about, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It can't be a team jersey, but it can be a Huberdeau jersey, like that sort of thing. Remember how
Bill
that went
Huberdeau on my men's rec league team. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Huberdeau. So we'll do that. And that's coming up. So thanks to the hearing loss clinic. And I've been loving seeing you, because I feel like I'm not on the show. I'm just like one of the listeners. I'm like one of the fans of the show. I've been watching along on social media. How about everybody buying the Barnburner Blonde and posting on social?
Dude, it's been unreal.
Love it.
Well, we had Sterling here yesterday. He dropped off, I think, a few flats of it, but I don't know if someone's been breaking in or we had the Wolverine here. We got our buddy from Toronto's in town. The Cammy's doing it. I don't know where the stuff's going, guys. Like,
Cammy stealing our beer?
Is Cammy stealing our beer?
She could at least ask.
Possible.
We don't mind sharing, but let it just ask.
Yeah. You just ask. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I love it. I love seeing all
that
the
bottle
support.
drive at my place, so that's totally unrelated. All those empties that was from somewhere else. So don't worry about that, guys.
Got it.
Are you one of those? Don't knock on my door.
I'm not doing the bottle drive, Brett. I know what you're.
Kids got to do the bottle drive. No, listen, the bottle drive is good because the kids actually have to do the work themselves instead of mom and dad rifling out gift baskets and asking
they're
for
great
money.
at driving and taking these things into the.
No, I don't. Hey, at least they get out there and hoof it a little bit and try and earn their own keep.
You know what would be good for the kids if they really, if what you're saying you wanted, shoveling snow. That's
school day today, Red. It's a PD day.
Money.
No school. I said, boys, get your ass off of YouTube, put your boots on, you're shoveling. That's the footprints of time, the work boots.
Man, this guy is a hard-ass father. Oof.
There you are. See?
Sand,
laying down the law.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
But
anyway, back to the original. Appreciate you guys supporting the brand with the Barnburner Blonde and Origin Brewing. It's the beer. It's the beer of the holiday season. It's the cool beer out there right now.
Festive,
at least looks like it. Yeah. And as we said, and you were saying, and we said, you sent us a photo. I saw somebody was over at Mandeep's place at BK Beaufort Liquor. You're buying the beers.
Yeah.
You take a picture. You put it on social media. We'll put it on the show.
Monday. I want to see all your Barnburner beers on the weekend because I know a lot of guys. There's Thursday's delivery. Yesterday, you would have got your delivery from Origin, 50K within distance of Calgary. They'll do delivery for really reasonable number. It's that hashtag Barnburner Blonde promo code. So a lot of guys would have got the beer yesterday. It's the weekend.
Hung over today, right?
And so
Guys
on
just
Monday,
hung
we
right
will
to the
unload a bunch of photos and videos of people enjoying the blonde.
Hung right to the tits today after that shipment shows up at their door yesterday. Why are you so hung over on Fridays? Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
You watch the Flames
Send
the
us those
first 40
pictures.
minutes?
Put them on the show.
Yeah,
We'll put them on the show.
Dino, have fun. Have a day. We're sending you away. I got a Pinder report for Rhett, and we're out of here.
All right, man. Well, really miss you.
Yeah.
Really miss being there. Can't wait to get back.
Watch out for the
Raiders
wolves
game.
in that northern climate. They'll get after you.
I can't believe you're wearing a Blades hat in PA. Surprised you haven't been roughed up yet.
Oh, well, that's what I'm bucket tipping, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to cause a stir everywhere we go. But yeah, it's get a few sideways glances. How could you wear that here in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan?
That's right.
Have a weekend, everybody.
Yeah.
See you, buddies.
Let's do it. Let's jump right into the Pinder report from there. Good to see Boom. Thanks for helping us with that Flames package for the Top Shelf Elf Christmas charity. That is a doozy. Watching Morning Skate with Connie, that'd be a blast. The Pinder report retro is for Village Honda. Pre-owned and brand new inventory arriving daily. Tons on site. MSRP for the new vehicles and over 400 pre-owned in their dealer group. Whatever your needs are, whatever your budget is, your automotive adventures all start at Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall or at villagehonda.com. We start with a clip from Afterburner Retro. It was not a good night for one Flame.
Dylan Dubé clocking in at 547 from his old coach from both the Kelowna Rockets
and the American League.
Yep.
It's been tough for Dylan Dubé. He finishes -2 as well. We checked early in the third or midway through the third. He was at 5 minutes and 47 seconds of ice time. It stayed that way.
He had one shift prior to the goals, it looks like.
One shift in the third, because he didn't have any ice time in the second half of the period. That number stayed the same. That is a story here that we'll have to follow. There was a thought that maybe you extend this guy at a bigger number and lock him into some term because there's some tools here. He flies.
There was hope.
Back-to-back 18-goal seasons, if I'm correct, but it's a player that doesn't have a lot of confidence right now. On a team with not a single 30-goal threat, he's lost a spot in the top 9. It's not good for Dubé right now, Rhett.
I don't know. Does it feel like, again, a guy that needs a change of environment?
Just going to say, it feels like Sam Bennett light. Like, you love a lot of the tools. You love, I think, a lot of the character you've seen from the player.
Good guy, all of the above. But he's
yet it just reeks of change of scenery, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. And that's okay. That happens to guys. That absolutely happens to guys. And sometimes you think as a player, you're like, oh, I want to make it work here. I want to make it work here. And I think he's trying to make it work.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. Sometimes the disappointment of getting traded goes away and all of a sudden you're in another city and it's exciting again and it just starts to click. So it might be just that.
He's an RFA this summer with Arbrights. It's not a scary Arb case. He's making $2.3 million. He's the type of guy I think teams would be targeting.
Yes.
Not the free agents and all that, but it's like, hey, he's fallen out of favor. They've got Pelche coming back. Coronado's on the way. Hanzik will be there in a year or two. They're going to get a bunch of high picks and other prospects coming back. Let's see if we can peel off Dubé at a buy low moment, because I don't know that his stock's worth less than it is today.
Probably not.
Yeah. Let's move along. Here's a look at the gauntlet run after last night's 3-2 win over the Canes. They are 500, Red. Better? 4-3? What? Come on. They are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Devils are up on Saturday. That's the next contest. 2:00 start at the Dome. That wraps the 6-game homestand. It's the return of Tyler Toffoli. It is the Igor Sharangovich revenge match. That tomorrow afternoon. Should be fun. We'll keep moving. Wildcard standings look like this, Retro. The Flames aren't there, but they're still lurking, right? Look at the points percentage, 481. They're now just one game under 500. The two wildcard teams are 3 and 2 games, respectively, over 500. And careful for the Oilers. They've won 5 in a row, now just 2 games under 500. Minnesota has won 4 of 5. They're just 2 games under 500. 500 ain't going to get you in. And I think 2 of the teams behind you are coming with some heat now.
Yeah, that's why it's 82-game schedule, I guess. You can't just have a good start and hope to keep your spot. Or if you have a bad one, you do have time to make them back.
Yeah,
because I'd be very wary of those teams behind me.
LA Kings are good. How do you like 11 in a row on the road? Whoa. 48-18, the goal differential for versus against over that 11-game road winning streak. They haven't lost on the road all year. They've outscored opponents by 30. What? You're averaging winning by 3. That's impressive stuff. Sneaky contender.
I'm glad they haven't come to Calgary. Is that what we're saying?
Flames go to them before Christmas. Buckle up.
Doesn't matter. That's not you can beat them in their barn. You just can't beat them.
Very good point. Astute point. Yeah, you want to face them at home later in the season when that streak's over. Alex Ovechkin hit a milestone last night. Let's take a peek at it. It's just 1,500. Holy. There's no doubt he's slowing, but he's got some runway, and I still think he gets there. He needs like 60-some goals, I think. It's very doable.
For us, Crazy. It is. He's getting older.
And the Sharks did something that I don't know that anyone else thought they could do this season. Never mind that the Sharks could do. Down 4-0. They tied it at 4 in Patty Kane's return, and then this in overtime.
The Sharks with an unbelievable comeback, and then
they might be having fun now.
They
are.
What's
going on there?
Mike Greer went in and kicked some garbage cans. Said, guys, we know you're not winning the cup this year, but if you're not working, this is trouble. And they had a 3-goal comeback victory yesterday, down 4-0 to Kane and the Wings. Storm back for a win. That one stings if you're in Detroit. Ouch.
Oh.
Big night. 88's back. 4-goal lead.
Oops.
Not ideal. I called it the Pinder Report. It's not actually fair to call it the Pinder Report. It's the Ohtani Report today. And happy Shohei Day to you, Rhett, and to all who celebrate. It sounds like this will be the 24-hour window where the greatest player maybe in the history of the sport will pick his new home. Look at this. Yes. Oh, retro. Is that baby blue and yellow? Baby blue and gold?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Now, people are getting crazy on this Shohei stuff. Let's start over in the UK, which is not where we go for baseball news. This is the something Mail, the Daily Mail. Yes. Toronto Blue Jays.
That's a big publication over in the UK. Huge. Just
huge source for MLB. Front runners to sign Shohei, they say. Okay, interesting. But that's the UK. Who's really to say what those people know about Shohei? Let's go to someone more insightful, like maybe an MLB insider on MLB Network. Let's go there.
Put it out there. We're imminent and where? What do you know?
Good morning, gentlemen. Yes, this could be a very historic day in the pursuit of Shohei Ohtani. Yes, what I can say for certain is that the decision is imminent. Again, as I reported this morning, it could happen as early as today. Now, we still do not know where. That part is still unconfirmed. As of the middle of this week, there were still 5 teams involved, we believe. I do know this, that in the last week since his visit to Dunedin, Florida on Monday, momentum has built for the Blue Jays. I will stress and say we do not have this confirmed as to where he's going to go, just that in the last several days, the Jays have certainly improved their standing. And for a long time, the Dodgers have been regarded as the favorites, and that was still the case as of the middle of this week. But again, this is now happening, I think, in real time today. I do believe that this final group of teams does involve the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. I'm not sure how many other teams are in that final group, and we should be hearing, we believe, sometime in the next 24 hours.
We are.
Please.
It's taking too long.
It does take a while, Rhett, and he did sign on December 8th his original MLB contract. In fact, if you want conspiracies, people are looking at private jets and where's Shohei, where's his girlfriend. It gets even deeper. Here's John Boy.
If you're someone that does not enjoy getting wrapped up in Twitter rumors and conspiracies and Reddit conspiracies and rabbit holes, then don't watch the rest of this video because you guys usually get mad at us when we allow ourselves to get wrapped up in the dumb. And here's a fun one. It's happening right now on Reddit. So credit to everyone that's on here. But basically, user Twisted Logic, he says someone on Twitter found that there's a chartered flight going from Anaheim to Toronto today. Morosi says the decision is imminent. Is that Ohtani's plane? Well, someone else found that the craft that's booked was a Bombardier. What is this?
Bombardier.
A Bombardier Global 5000. Everyone knows and is familiar with that. Well, turns out Shohei, that's the plane he usually charters. So, is he on a flight to Toronto? Are they going to announce it? My favorite part of all this was that they say that tomorrow is the day of luck in Japanese culture, and Ohtani signed with the Angels on December 8th back in 2017. That's honestly enough for me. Cool. Ohtani signed today. Is it with the Blue Jays? I don't know. Morosi also said it was imminent. Someone said, well, where else has that plane been flying? And then Jorlong, no, this is a different comment. Then Twisted Logic said, well, the crazy thing is that plane was in Oakland hanging out, and apparently Ohtani was in San Francisco. Then it went to Hawaii, where apparently Ohtani's girlfriend lives. And then it went to John Wayne by Orange County, and now it's on its way to Toronto. So if you wanted to connect that dot with red tape, I never heard that Ohtani's got a girlfriend in Hawaii, but I'm not looking for that information. So anyway, if you like getting wrapped up in dumb stuff.
So remember when Boom said, how does this Vegas, how would they know more?
Mm-hmm. That kind of shit. Yeah. Looking at private jets. He uses this jet. He has used this jet. This jet went here. It went there. Oh, that's where Shohei was. Now, and look at this. Here's another one. I think this guy's like an opera singer in Toronto or something. We're getting some crazy stories. This is peak conspiracy theory. You say Kikichi's reserved the entire upscale sushi restaurant near Rogers Center tonight. It could be his birthday. His wife's engagement. I don't know. Please make it happen. Please. What jersey are you getting me, the Ohtani? Is it the blue, the gray, or the
powdered blue?
The powdered blue. Yeah, good. No complaints. Please. NBA in-season tournament's got a final. Last couple notes here, Rhett. There it is. Okay. LeBron, he hit one from the logo last night. And Jack, who's this rising star? The Halliburton for the Pacers?
Tyrese Halliburton, yeah. He's been unbelievable. Yeah, mega stud now, yeah. He was drafted by the Kings, and then he was traded for Sabonis.
Number zero. There it is, Rhett. Who knew? Final ones for you. There's some big events in college sports, amateur athletics. We love it. And then there's some big parties. And if your team wins a big game, you party. Let's have a look. So we've stormed the field, and guy's standing on the, oh my God. He's standing on the field goal uprights. Front flip right into there's the security guy waiting for him. Yep. Hope nothing's broken. The good news at that age, Rhett, you're very drunk, you're very flexible, hangovers aren't bad, and you probably didn't even break a bone.
No, he'll be fine.
Guy like you and I, shattered hip, no doubt. Last one for you. Somebody's birthday. I feel like he's one of our guys. Check out the birthday setup for food.
To Jurassic Park.
This is a massive mountain of mashed potatoes and a huge gravy creek. Wow.
It's beautiful.
28th
Absolutely.
birthday. That man's found his priorities early in life. Nothing like good gravy on mashed. That's your Pinder Report, Rhett. That's your Ohtani Report. Brought to you by our good friends at Village Honda.
Ohtani.
Please. Just please. That's all I have to say. Please. That's it. Please. I know you got to hustle. We'll get through this. Thank you to our good friends at Village Honda. Whether it's pre-owned or new vehicles, your automotive adventure starts at villagehonda.com or in the Northwest Auto Mall. Go say hello and get one of those big red bow things for the car. What a present at Christmas. Would be great. Would be very good. DoorDash, what's on the menu tonight? Well, beauty with DoorDash could be groceries, could be flowers, could be food. You know that. It's all there. Get the DoorDash app. And here's the thing. Listeners and viewers of the program, your first order on DoorDash, download the app, enter the promo code NATION25. You'll get 25% off your first order over $15 and free delivery. Love it. Nation25, your promo code. What's on the menu tonight? We've got the Wild and Oilers at 7 p.m. up at the Cates Dome in Edmonton. Oilers have won 5 in a row. Wild were red hot until getting shut out last night by the Canucks. Demko was awesome in a 2-0 victory. Two teams playing the right way, making up for bad starts. That'll be a fun one tonight. And the Raptors and the Charlottes, the Bob Hornets, the Horn Cats. Look for that
Bob
one
Cage.
as well. That's Bob Cage and 5 o'clock tip-off from North Carolina. That's what's on the menu. What are you ordering?
Fish and chips.
Oh, the greats make it look easy. The greats make it
And
look
because a lot of those places where you get good fish and chips, they have shepherd's pie.
They do.
I'm going to throw in a shepherd's pie.
Yeah. Nation 25 is that promo code. Your first order, over $15, free delivery. Love it. And don't sleep on the
Shohei jersey.
Okay. Oh. Blue Jays Today is one of our sister podcasts. They are live streaming all day surrounding Shohei. We can't close the Shohei portion of this program without telling you, check out Blue Jays Today on the Nation Network, YouTube streaming all day. 1,600 people are watching right now. If you have nothing better to do than fantasize about the greatest baseball player of our lives, go join them. Do that now. Thank you. Nation 25, your promo code for DoorDash. Rhett, what's on tap for the weekend?
Rochester. Shocker.
Again. God damn it. Why isn't Buffalo closer to sexier places? Like, what are you doing? Like, this could be like Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Everyone, the take is, oh, it's close, it's easy, and it's like, yeah, and it's annoying.
It is stabby. What's a shank feel like in this temperature, Rhett? In the winter,
is it help? If it's hot, do you bleed more or less? Like if it's cold, like do you want to
clot sooner? Maybe not. I don't know. Probably best just not to get shanked.
Avoid it. Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Please screenshot the Ohtani jersey for me. I'll tell you my sizing once this is done. Okay. We'll see you over at Blue Jays Nation, Blue Jays Today, excuse me, for the chaos that is Ohtani Watch 2023. This program is sponsored by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try with BetterHelp and get on your way to being your best self. What is BetterHelp? Well, it's simple. It's online therapy. And the beauty about that means flexibility around your schedule. Don't need to leave your home. Don't have to be stuck in traffic getting somewhere. And they're going to match you with a qualified therapist based on your responses to a questionnaire. It is a perfect fit for the issues that you may be dealing with, or to help you come up with some strategies to maybe be prepared for some things cropping up. I know the holiday season has lots of family around. That can be joyous and fun and amazing. It can also add stress. You know how that goes as well. Therapy can help you identify what the challenges in your life are, and they can help you build strategies, coping skills, and ways to be the best version of yourself. And I think as fellas, we're getting a little more comfortable talking about mental health, and therapy is not something you should be ashamed about. So I think you should be proud about it. It means you're sort of investing some time in making yourself happy, making your brain your friend, being the best version of yourself. That's something I think we should all be proud about, trying to be our best selves. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. And check this out. Visit BetterHelp.com/FlamesNation, and you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/FlamesNation. See you, buddy.
Have a great weekend.
Ohtani.
Afterburner. I'm doing Afterburner.
Ohtani. Bye, buddies. Ohtani. Come on, let's go. Come on. See you on Afterburner tomorrow, right? And we'll see you on Monday, buddies.